Hello ladies and gents, today we're going to be doing a review / comparison of the Coolermaster MP511 mousepad. This is the large size. So, I saw this pad on Amazon 2 weeks ago. I was scrolling through Amazon and I was very curious to see if they had this pad. Because I know Coolermaster announced this pad, I think at the end of 2020, and Australian people had this pad. It was only available in Australia and Europe, I believe. I'm not too sure. And then 2 weeks ago, I came across it on Amazon, and I mean, obviously, of course, I had to buy it. The thing is that when I first saw the pad, I don't know if you can see the surface, it reminded me a lot of the MPC450. So I assumed that this pad was going to be the same as the MPC450. It looked about the same. I don't know. Also, this pad is 20 bucks. This is the large size, and they had the XL size, which is 36 inches by 18. So yeah, this was 20 bucks. We're gonna do a comparison with the MPC450 and the MP510. So, what do I think about this pad? I was pleasantly surprised with this pad. Like, I expected it to be as fast as the MPC450, but honestly, this feels like the MPC450 Control Edition because there is more control on this. It's still on the speedier side. This is of course faster than the MP510. And also, the MP510 and the MP511 have the same stitching. They have the same stitching. I don't know if you can see it. They have the same stitching. And I actually thought it was pretty good. They're pretty good stitching for the price. And I found this pad to be, well, actually these two mice are like my mains right now, and I found it better suited for the MZ1, the Zeiss rail. I found it to be the best, the most optimal with for this mouse, because I had the right amount of control, right amount of speed with the MZ1, and this pad is very balanced. There is no X and Y differences. Everywhere you go, it's very even, unlike the MP510, which I am going to show you. And also the sizing between the MP510 and the MP511 is actually, look, this is the large size of the MP510 as well. You can tell it was shorter, and this one also went for $14.99 when it came out. I had this pad for about a year, and this pad has X and Y differences. Like, it's slower, it's faster side to side and slower up and down. Not too significant though, because I've had pads where it was significant. This one is not as significant, but you can tell it's there. This is much slower. I don't know if you can see the surface. It is much slower than the MP511. And also the thing is that I didn't really notice that it was slightly shorter. Like, I would have it up high because I don't really use the entire pad, which is why it didn't really bother me. And also, one thing is that the logo on the MP510 glows in the dark while the MP511 doesn't, which I found kind of interesting. Why they, I mean, it wasn't really useful anyways. I mean, it's kind of neat, but like, it wasn't really useful, so I'm glad that they didn't really replicate it, even though to me it was kind of useless. So honestly, these two pads are really good pads. As a matter of fact, if you want something faster, more even, go with the MP511. It's only like a $5 difference, even though I don't know why it's so hard to find an MP510 in the US. I don't know why it's so hard to find one, especially in the large size. Actually, you know what? I don't like. If you're gonna get the MP510, just get the disc pad size, because this is I know a lot of people are getting bothered by it, honestly. Even though to me it's not really that much of a difference, but yeah, they both have the same stitching, by the way. I don't know if you can see it. They got the same stitching. Even though I feel like it's slightly improved on the MP511, not by much though. And also a lot of people have had issues with the G Pro wireless on the MP510. I haven't had any issues. I never ever had an issue with the Surface, with the G Pro wireless and the GPX. I played it on the GPX and I never had a spin out or any issues with it. Same with the MZ1. Which I found kind of strange though, because I know a lot of people complained about it having issues on the MP510. Never have I had an issue with it, to be honest. So now we're gonna pull down the MPC450. And yes, this is actually my main pad. I've had this pad for about 6 months. And yes, it has the logo. It doesn't bother me, by the way. At some point I will remove it. I never touched this area, so it is not really a bother for me. So also the updated version of the MPC450 only has this logo on that side and the little Cordura thingy right here. It's on the outside. I never touched this area either, so not a big deal. So I thought that these two pads were going to be very similar because of the surface. I don't know if you can see the surface. Yeah, you can probably see it. I thought they were going to be very similar in terms of speed and control, and they aren't. This is much faster, but not by much. But it's noticeable. It's to the point where it's noticeable. You can tell that this is going to be a much faster pad, especially with the GPX. I found that the GPX and the MPC450 were a much better combo than the MP511. I love using this mouse with this pad the most. The MZ1 I feel like I'm more shaky with this pad. And this pad, this mouse is much better suited for the MP511. But this feels much better suited for the MPC450. These two pads are great pads. I love these two pads. Also, in terms of roughness, they're both not smooth. They're not smooth pads. But this one feels the least abrasive. The MPC450 feels the least abrasive, even though the stitching is kind of decent. I wouldn't say decent. I am going to say the MP511 stitching is better. But to me, I don't really go like that. I usually just aim like this with my forearm hovering and all that, so it doesn't really bother me. But yeah, this pad is honestly such a great pad, but it's so hard to find too, and especially if you're in the United States, it's very hard to find. You would have to go through Endgame Gear to get a pad like this, or you can go to Lethal Gaming Gear or Agile. I believe Agile Cables has this pad too. I'm not sure, but it's very hard to find. Same with the MP510. I don't know why it's so hard to find, but this pad is such a great pad. It goes for, I believe, 30 bucks in the United States. In other places it's 20, I'm not too sure. 20 euros, I believe, in Europe. But it's such a great pad. It's a top tier pad for sure, for people that love speed. But even then, it still has a good bit of control. This is actually, I found it very, a lot of the mice I've used, like the Prime Wireless, the Aerox 3, the Model Wireless, I found it to be very suitable for this pad. And oh yeah, and the MM720 was such a lethal combo with the MPC450. And I don't know, like, it's such a really good pad. I love this pad. And same with the MP511 for different reasons. Like if I'm ever in the mood to have more control, I will pull out the MP511. This is basically my second pad. This is like my backup pad. This is going to be my like secondary for games that require more control. But this is going to be my number one. I love this pad. I don't plan on switching out on this pad. I mean, maybe at some point. I don't know yet. I might end up getting. Actually, I don't even know. I might end up getting one of the lethal gaming pads. Oh, and also I reviewed the Mercury prototype pad, pre-production pad. That was on my previous video. Might end up getting that later on when the final copy's released, or the Venus. We don't know yet. I don't know yet. So, but anyways, so what do I think about the MP511? Honestly, it's such a great pad for 20 bucks. Honestly, a very, very, very good pad. And you're getting a lot of pad for 20 bucks. Honestly, it's such a durable pad. And also, it's interesting that there's no other review of the MP511. There is another one, but some other language that I don't understand. But I guess this will be the first English review of the MP511. But honestly, it's a straight recommend from me. Honestly, $20 and you're getting this good of a pad, very durable pad. Actually, I found it interesting that there's no Cordura little flimsy thing, this thing right here. On the box, it says Cordura fabric on the box. So I guess it's 100% Cordura. Oh, and also before I forget, the base on the MP511, it doesn't move at all. A little bit, but like you have to put a lot of force. But while gaming, it doesn't move, which is kind of interesting because on the MP510, it kind of moves a little bit, but not by much. This one you have to put a lot of force in order for it to move. Same with the MPC450. They don't move at all. While gaming, it's not an issue. So yeah, definitely get this pad if you have the money and all that. 20 bucks, you're getting a really good pad out of it. So until next time, might end up doing a review on the MZ1, possibly. Even though this mouse it's such an interesting mouse. I don't understand what's so interesting about it, but it's interesting. Like it feels so good in the hand. Might end up doing a review of this, maybe, I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of super light reviews, honestly. This is top tier wireless mouse. Well, there is the final mouse, the Starlight 12. Not gonna get it, overpriced, don't really want it. So yeah, until next time, thanks for watching.